Chapter 1: The Vision That Sparked an Empire. Alexander the Great, a name echoing through history, carried a vision that transcended borders and time. After a brief childhood at the courts of Macedon, he learned that leadership was not simply inherited, but forged through daring ideas and relentless ambition. His vision was simple yet profound: to unite the known world and create a culture where different peoples could share a common purpose. The first lesson in visionary leadership comes from that audacious plan, an instruction that vision must first be clear and then shared with others. The story of his meeting with Hermes, or the charioteer who warned him of the dangers of unchecked ambition, illustrates his early focus on humility. "I will not be guided by fear or by the opinions of others," he famously replied. "I will follow my own vision." This bold stance made his soldiers feel they were part of a higher purpose rather than merely following a commander's orders. The motivational insight here is that a visionary leader must boldly declare their vision while inviting others to see it. Modern listeners can practice this by drafting a personal mission statement, then sharing it with friends or colleagues who can give honest feedback. An example: write a paragraph that explains why you want to pursue your chosen career and how it will impact your community. Share it in a workplace meeting or a social media group. The reaction will let you refine your vision and build allies. Alexander also demonstrated the principle of adaptability, which is essential for visionary leaders. After conquering Persia, he did not stop. He marched into India, even though the terrain and cultures were unknown. His willingness to adjust plans for new challenges is a clear lesson. Keep your vision flexible enough to grow, but stay focused on the core goal. Today, a leader can mirror this by setting long-term targets, but reviewing them quarterly and being ready to pivot when external conditions shift. Conclusion: visionary leadership starts with a crystal-clear vision, strong communication, and an adaptable heart. To emulate Alexander, keep your vision vivid, invite partnership, and accept change as part of the journey. Reflection question: how would you reshape your own vision if you knew you could not be limited by the current constraints of your environment? Chapter 2: Core Pillars of a Visionary Leader. Alexander's journey reveals key principles that any aspiring visionary leader can adopt. First, unwavering belief in the vision itself. Second, the ability to inspire others. Third, cultural integration. Fourth, strategic foresight. And fifth, relentless perseverance. These pillars are intertwined. Missing one weakens the entire structure. Consider the legend of Alexander's Siege of Tyre. Despite extreme odds, he built a causeway, showing that belief in the end justifies extraordinary effort. A modern parallel is an entrepreneur building an app that everyone can use despite initial skepticism. The belief in its usefulness fuels resilience. The lesson: a leader's confidence propagates through the team, turning doubt into determination. His practice of inspiring others is evident when he would speak to his generals before battles, framing each conquest as a step toward a shared destiny. He didn't just give orders, he told stories in which his soldiers were heroes. An everyday lesson is to share success stories that connect individual roles to a larger aim. For instance, a project manager might highlight how a small development task will soon enable a product that will touch thousands of lives. Narrative power fuels motivation. Cultural integration is perhaps the most subtle yet powerful pillar. Alexander married a Pacific queen, adopted Persian customs, and commanded that his soldiers wear local attire at times. This showed respect and brought unity. Modern leaders can emulate this by encouraging cross-cultural collaboration, allowing diverse teams to bring their personal identities into shared projects. An example: a workplace diversity initiative that offers employees a platform to showcase cultural traditions while working on common objectives. Strategic foresight guided Alexander's decisions. Before each campaign, he studied geography, logistics, and enemy strengths, and imagined multiple outcomes. Contemporary managers can mirror this by using data analytics to forecast market trends or by constructing scenario plans for their businesses. Prepare for different eventualities. A single plan is rarely enough. Finally, perseverance is the glue that holds all pillars together. Alexander endured harsh winters on the steppe, yet his resolve never faltered. Today, this can be practiced by setting up a daily habit tracker that reminds you of long-term goals and celebrating micro wins to maintain momentum. Conclusion: a visionary leader balances deep belief, passion speaking, cultural respect, strategic insight, and relentless perseverance. Adopt each pillar and you set the foundation for transformative change. Reflection question: which one of these 5 pillars do you feel is currently missing in your leadership toolkit, and how might you begin to strengthen it? Chapter 3: Practical Embodiment of Visionary Leadership. Alexander's life is saturated with moments where he turned thought into action. The Burning River expedition illustrates this. He ordered his men to cross the Hollies with a swift and cunning bridge, effectively seizing the initiative. The lesson is rapid, decisive action when the vision is clear. Modern leaders can practice by breaking decisions into smaller, less intimidating steps. For instance, instead of postponing a major organizational change, start with a pilot program that tests the concept on a small scale. If successful, scale up swiftly. Another example comes from his founding of new cities. Each city was a living testament to his future. He planted new communities where none had existed, ensuring cultural integration, resource distribution, and strategic depth. The modern counterpart is to create innovation labs within companies, setting up experimental spaces where ideas can be nurtured, tested, and adopted without bureaucratic constraints. The key is to embed the future into physical or virtual locations, where teams can collaborate, learn, and thrive. Alexander's strategic use of propaganda, sending letters that praised his deeds, shows the power of messaging. His letters were sent to various capitals before battle, building anticipation and confidence among his troops. Today, leaders can share mission updates, vision statements, and progress reports through digital newsletters or internal communication platforms. The goal is to reinforce the vision constantly and to make every team member feel connected to the larger narrative. A third embodiment is his habit of learning from past experiences. After the defeat at the Battle of Leuctra, he studied the Greek tactics that led to loss. He applied those lessons in future campaigns, constantly evolving. In modern settings, leaders can institutionalize after-action reviews for projects, dissect successes and failures, and embed this learning into future strategies. This continuous improvement loop is essential for visionary perseverance. To practice Alexander's embodiment today: 1. Create a vision runway canvas, an accessible visual display where the organization's future state is mapped out and milestones are clearly marked. 2. Schedule monthly future calls, short meetings where teams discuss upcoming trends, potential disruptions, and how the organization may pivot. 3. Initiate a learning repository, an open knowledge base where project retrospectives are recorded and shared. Conclusion: visionary leadership is not just grand declarations. It requires deliberate actions, decisive moves, purposeful creation, consistent storytelling, and relentless learning. When you take concrete steps that mirror Alexander's boldness, you turn vision into reality. Reflection question: what small, decisive step can you take today that aligns directly with your long-term vision? Chapter 4: Translating Ancient Insight to Modern Motivation. The lessons derived from Alexander's life carry immense power when applied to personal growth. Firstly, set an audacious vision. Do not limit yourself to incremental improvements. Craft a goal that feels almost miraculous. For instance, designing a program that democratizes online education for underserved communities. Setting a stretch goal stimulates commitment and encourages creative problem solving. Secondly, surround yourself with like-minded allies. Alexander was surrounded by generals, scholars, and strategists whose diverse expertise he harnessed. In a modern context, build a network that encompasses professionals from different disciplines. Join cross-functional teams, seek mentors outside your immediate field, and cultivate an environment where ideas cross-pollinate. Thirdly, embrace cultural learning and empathy. Alexander's success depended on his ability to understand and incorporate cultures. Adopt habits such as reading books about different cultures, attending global conferences, or learning a new language to build connections. Fourthly, practice scenario planning. Simulate crises, market shifts, or technological disruptions in your mind or through workshops. This keeps the vision adaptable. Fifthly, maintain personal discipline. Alexander didn't pause at any challenge. Create a daily routine, meditation, exercise, reading, that reinforces your mental resilience. Examples for immediate practice: write a vision manifesto and post it on a whiteboard you check daily. Schedule a weekly meeting with one person you admire and ask for advice on a specific challenge. Enroll in a short online course outside your professional field to widen perspective. Map out at least 3 alternative future scenarios for your career and outline steps for each. Dedicate 20 minutes each morning to a quiet reflection on the vision and your progress. Conclusion: the fusion of audacity, collaboration, empathy, foresight, and discipline transforms you from a follower into a visionary. These pillars, modeled after Alexander, will sustain personal growth and inspire others around you. Reflection question: which single habit can you add to your daily routine that will most directly support your long-term vision? Chapter 5: The Calling to Evolve as a Visionary. After exploring Alexander's approach and how to apply it today, we arrive at the moment of reflection. The essence of visionary leadership is an ongoing evolution. The path you walk will be marked by both triumph and trial. The key is to keep vision alive. First, keep your vision fresh. Revisit it quarterly and adjust to new realities. Alexander never stayed static. He constantly reimagined his empire's horizons. Second, measure your impact using metrics that reflect the spirit of the vision rather than just numbers. Does your team feel that their work contributes to a larger purpose? Ask for qualitative feedback. Third, cultivate humility. While Alexander's boldness was legendary, his willingness to listen to advisors like Admetus kept him grounded. Seek counsel, critique, and be ready to pivot. Fourth, celebrate collective victories. Share successes with the entire organization, reinforcing the shared story. Fifth, mentor the next generation. Pass on what you learn, ensuring the vision's legacy continues beyond you. To act today, create a personal vision journal. Write one sentence that captures your dream. Review and update it each month. Identify 3 people who can support your growth and write them a heartfelt note expressing appreciation and inviting collaboration. Schedule a quarterly review with yourself, noting progress and adjusting your steps. Conclusion: visionary leadership is a marathon, not a sprint. By embedding belief, inspiration, integration, foresight, and perseverance, you carry forward a tradition of transformative change that began with a young Macedonian prince. The journey is yours to define, and the roadmap has just been laid out. Takeaway: hold your vision fiercely, invite others to join, adapt courageously, learn relentlessly, and keep moving forward. Every small act aligns you with the audacious path of Alexander the Great. Reflection question: what immediate action will you take tonight to sharpen your visionary focus for tomorrow? If you enjoyed this, like, share, and subscribe for more visionary leadership insights.